So for problem 7-41, it's asking us to prepare a cost of quality report. And in this one, we have a company, we have Madrigal Company. They listed out all of their quality related costs. And so that's going to go, from their engineering, their warranty, rework cost, inspection cost, waste, certifications, downtime, everything. Anything that's related to quality, both preparing to do good work, to internal failures, to warranty stuff, to external stuff. Everything related to quality is right here. Then it gives the total sales for the year, and it wants us to prepare a report. And it wants us to break these out between prevention cost, appraisal, internal failure, and external failure. So what I've already done is I just took this information right here and then just put it over into Excel so we can actually use the data. So let's start off. Let's add some headers here. So we got our item and we got our amount. All right. And let's go ahead and turn this into a table. So just do Control T, and that brings up the range. Yep, we have headers. And then we can go ahead and we can change the way that looks, whatever color. Let's just see. Let's do green. Nah. There we go. We'll do this one. And so let's get our number formatting a little bit nicer. So we'll just, there we go. That's a little bit better. And so it wants us to include these costs as a percentage of sales. So that's just going to be the cost divided by our total sales, which is 120. And let's just go ahead and press F4 to lock that reference down. There we go. And then let's change this to a percentage format. We'll do 2 decimal places. And so it also wants us to group it by prevention, appraisal, internal, external. So we'll just do a column for grouping. And so now we just have to look at each one of these and determine what group it falls into. So quality engineering, okay, so that's going to be a prevention cost. So a warranty claim, that's going to be an external failure cost. Product liability lawsuits, that's going to be external. Research is going to be prevention. Maintenance of test equipment, that would be an appraisal. Return products, that's external. Rework costs, that's an internal failure. Let's see, quality training, that would be a prevention. Process control and monitoring is appraisal. Inspection is appraisal. Repair in the field is external. Statistical process control, that's prevention. Product recalls would be external. Waste is internal. Scraps, internal. Product quality audits, appraisal. Downtime, that's an internal failure. And supplier certification, that would be prevention. Okay, it looks like I even spelled failure wrong. There we go. So now that we have this information, we need to actually build a report. So this is our data. Now let's build a report so we can actually analyze this. And so we can go over here and let's use a pivot table to do that. We could do it by hand. That would take a while. Excel has the nice tool of pivot tables. Let's just take advantage of that. So we'll go over to insert, do insert pivot table. We already have our range selected, and then ask us where do we want to put it. Let's just put it right here, right next to it. There we go. Alright, so to build the pivot table, we just tell it what information that we want, and so we want to understand this or analyze it by the group, and then we probably want the detail of what's in each group. We'll just drop it right there. And we want to understand it by an amount and the percentage. So we'll just drop these down right here. And so, hey, just like that, we have pretty much have our report together. So I'm just going to shrink that line down. And so let's just change some of our formatting up just so it looks a little bit better. If you right click, go to value field settings, and go to number format, and let's see, we'll just do this accounting, no decimals. We'll do the same for the percentage. Let's just do a percentage, 2 decimals. Perfect. So really quick, nice, easy way to build a table, to analyze the data. And so, let's see, what is part B? So I guess we just have to interpret what we have here. So if we look at this, so we have a total failure cost, a grand total of 16%. And it looks like most of that all falls in external failure cost. And so that's huge. That's the worst place to fail is external. I mean, it's bad enough to have, rework costs and stuff like that. But external failure cost means it's failing in the customer's hands. And so that's not only very costly in getting the products back, reissuing it, lawsuits, warranty, but that's going to damage your reputation. It's going to make your customer not want to buy from you in the future. You're not going to get good recommendations. So, I mean, absolutely the worst place to fail. The rest of these costs look a little bit closer in line. It looks to be what's reasonable. In fact, looking at this, these costs are so high in external, but if you look down to prevention, that's only 1.4% is related to prevention. And so, I would want to see this company actually increase these prevention costs, increase the appraisal cost in order to bring down these external failure costs and maybe even the internal failure cost a little bit. Because when you're looking at quality costs, the further you go down the line, the later that you have that failure, the more expensive it's going to be. Kind of an extreme example. If you guys remember back to the Challenger shuttle explosion, I think that was back in 1986. When that shuttle blew up, what blew up, I think what caused it was like this little tiny O-ring failure. It was like a part that was cost less than $1. And so you have this tiny little part caused the failure. The worst kind of failure would actually cost people's lives. And so if they would have put, thousands of dollars in, or even millions of dollars in up front, it still would have been much less than the cost that they actually incurred, because of that. So that's an extreme example. You think of companies like, automakers. You look at, Ford or Chevy, where they have, have some kind of a significant recall or something like that. So if people are getting in wrecks, I remember several years back, I think it was Firestone or Bridgestone was having some tire problems where these tires were blowing out on vehicles, causing wrecks. And so the cost of that, the lawsuits related to it, the loss of the reputation, was huge. If they could have caught that, and just building a better product, providing better training, that would be the ideal. If they don't catch it there, hey, catch it in the appraisal where they do an evaluation, or even where it fails internally. Is way better than actually getting out here to the external cost. So, so if at all possible, you want to decrease external cost. That's where the effort should be to decrease this external cost. And you could probably decrease this 13 million down significantly by increasing the prevention cost just incrementally. So a little bit of effort down here in prevention can save a lot of money at the tail end.